point after you have reached Erewhon for the first time. Fury, Fix-It, and Vasily can be activated or dismissed at will. And from the beginning, you will be able to fully customize them. This customization includes all of the physical attributes, as well as gear, equipment, or even full costumes. Your teammates can be tweaked just as much.
Salut
as
tout le
your main
monde, j'espère que
character.
vous allez bien. On se
Just like
retrouve
Nomad,
pour
your teammates
la
will adapt to
conférence
react to the
Ubisoft,
world of Aurora and its
le
environment.
Be-Forward
And
qu'on
they will
attend
always follow
tous
your
avec
own
impatience
behavior.
depuis un certain bout
If
de
you
temps
decide to
avec
go
des jeux
stealth, they will
annoncés
equip silencers and
et
crouch,
sûrement quelques
or go
surprises.
prone when
Donc on
lost.
croise les doigts pour
But if you
Stadia,
decide
pour
to
le
go
Uplay+.
loud and open fire,
Par contre, pour les
they
sorties des
will
jeux sur
stick by your
Stadia,
side.
on ne se fait pas de
When
soucis parce
deployed,
que c'est quand même
you can
annoncé
issue
qu'ils vont
different
tous
orders to your
sortir, tous les
teammates
gros
through
jeux,
the order wheel.
les Watch Dogs
There are 4
Légion,
different orders you can give to
les
your teammates.
God and
You
Monster,
can tell them to
les
regroup on your
Assassin's Creed
location,
Valhalla.
to hold their current
Donc
position,
voilà, même le Far Cry 6
to
a déjà
go
été
to a
annoncé sur
specific
Stadia
location,
hier, donc
and to
voilà.
open fire on
C'est
nearby
cool,
enemies.
on va prendre du plaisir
These
là-dedans.
orders can be given at any
Et
time,
puis voilà.
even
Et
through
puis il
your
reste 6 minutes,
binoculars
ils sont sur
and
le
drone.
pré-show,
Once they approach
j'avais pas le temps
potential
de venir
threats,
pour.
the teammates will notify
Donc
you
voilà
and
quoi,
mark them automatically.
on
With
va
a good
enchaîner
look at your
là-dessus quoi.
enemies,
On
you
est
will
sur
be
du
able to
Ghost
set up
là,
a sync
quand
shot
même.
where each of your teammates picks a target.
Hop,
You
on
can
va
even link
partager
it to your
ça
3 sync shot drones for a simultaneous 7-target takedown.
sur Twitch.
The teammates have weapons equipped at all times, a versatile assault rifle to accommodate all situations, and a primary weapon that you will be able to fine-tune.
Et c'est
Indeed,
parti.
apart from mark upgrades and passive bonuses, the full gunsmith is accessible to your teammates, and their weapon of choice will have a direct effect on the battleground. Depending on the type of weapon they have equipped, the teammates will adapt their engagement distance and rate of fire, from close distance shotgun wielding all the way to long distance sniper shots. Of course, if you get taken down, your teammates' priority will be to try and rescue you.
Franchement, ce jeu il est vraiment top à 4. Hein. Enfin, je sais pas si vous avez eu l'occasion de le faire. Ouais, j'y ai joué avec quelques potes sur Stadia. Vraiment génial. Vraiment. Il faut être 4. Hein. 2, 3, ça peut passer quoi, mais 4, c'est vraiment le top.
The teammates will also be your best allies in any vehicle, especially on the road and during high-stake pursuits. The teammates will be available for all solo Ghost Recon Breakpoint players on July 15th, and we cannot wait to see your reactions.
Oh.
We'll see you on the battlefield, Ghosts.
Hey Ghosts, I'm Grace from the Ghost Recon team. As you've just seen, the AI teammates are finally landing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint with our next major update on July 15th. Alongside the AI teammates, this update comes with a ton of new content, including a gunsmith upgrade, new PvP content, quality of life updates, and more. You will be able to try it all during our next free weekend from July 16th to July 20th. But that's not all. We've got one last thing to show you. Enjoy, and we'll see you on Aroa, Ghosts.
To anyone listening, this is Haruhi Ito speaking for the Outcasts.
Alors, what is that?
We stand against Sentinel's illegal occupation of Aroa. We call on all of Aroa to join us. Separated, Sentinel wins. But united, we cannot be defeated.
Résistance.
And now our very final video for this pre-show is another episode of our wow moments comparing the craziest and coolest clips from you, our players.
Anyone else want to try to do better than that?
Ça, c'est un jeu que j'ai jamais joué, Brawlhalla, quoi.
I was gonna interrogate him. Oh, you can interrogate this guy though. Oh, okay. Last stop standing.
Yo Tony, ça va? Tiens, For Honor, celui-là j'ai envie qu'il sorte. Hein. J'ai très envie de le voir sur Stadia celui-là. Bon, ça y est, tu leur as fait tes adieux?
There's no one too close, so. Reloading! Fuck, someone told me. I gotta go.
Ça aussi ce serait le genre de jeu que j'aimerais bien voir sur Stadia avec les guitares. Moi, je connais pas celui-là exactement, mais t'es du Guitar Hero ou des jeux à l'ancienne, tu vois, bien tripant. Ça rentrait bien dans la mentalité Stadia, je trouve. Mais t'as dit ça pour tout. Même F1, t'as l'air dit que c'était un jeu de merde.
Don't forget to stay tuned for our post-show featuring a deep dive into the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thanks a lot for watching this pre-show and enjoy Ubisoft Forward.
Allez, c'est parti. Yo, mon vieux Dark. Oh, toute la clique est là.
Very excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf Magid. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London and see what the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as
Oh, bah, je peux pas tout lire, attends, t'es grave toi. Watch Dog Légion, bah, man.
authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
J'espère pas. En tout cas, si c'est déjà enregistré, j'ai vu un message sur Twitter qui tournait où il parlait justement de ça au niveau de la communication Ubisoft.
Then they came for the journalists. But I did not speak out because I was not a journalist.
Putain, ce jeu-là, mais je l'attends, mais d'une force de ouf. Hein.
And then they came for street artists. But I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
Ouais, carrément, Olivier, carrément. Mais depuis qu'il parle du jeu, je veux dire que t'as un principe dedans où tu peux incarner n'importe quel perso avec chacun plus ou moins ses forces et ses faiblesses. J'avais vu une vidéo sur celle où tu incarnes un petit vieux et sa faiblesse et peut mourir à tout moment d'une crise cardiaque. C'est complètement ouf, quoi, décalé, quoi. Ce serait bien surtout qu'il nous annonce enfin une date de sortie parce qu'il a été repoussé et repoussé. On peut dire merci à Division et Ghost Recon pour ça, quoi. Non mais tu l'auras le logo, Tony, sur tous les jeux. Maintenant tu vas l'avoir, tous les jeux Ubi en tout cas. Bon, peut-être pas Trackmania, je sais pas, on verra ça, ça va peut-être être une surprise. Enfin, je sais pas si Trackmania, si c'est du Ubi, oui, donc peut-être, mais tous les jeux qui sont pas sortis, qui vont sortir sur Stadia. Enfin tous leurs gros AAA en tout cas. Je disais en début de vidéo, hein, que ce soit Watch Dogs, que ce soit Assassin's Creed, que ce soit Far Cry, ou que ce soit God and Monster, ils vont arriver. Hein.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents.
Reclaim your future.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world.
C'est ça, en fin de compte, tu peux être n'importe qui.
You help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a dead sick problem.
Bon, tu te débarrasseras à la fin maintenant.
Recruit them into your team, and then they become the heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
Tu vois, il peut mourir d'une crise cardiaque à tout moment.
Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You're done.
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say,
Si, on a toujours besoin de toi, Tony.
Welcome to the resistance.
Our London town. A modern metropolis.
Je vais aussi me désabonner de ta chaîne si tu continues à être aussi désagréable, moi, tu vas voir.
It took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down. Oh my God. Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city. With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private
c'est vrai que ça envoie, hein.
called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order. Understand this.
Ouais, tu peux l'incarner, mais si tu te comportes comme lui, Dark, tu vas pas aller bien loin, à mon avis.
He will stop at nothing to permanently control the city. London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe. Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
On a perdu les sous-titres, hein.
They're using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I've got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I? You make me a
C'est un jeu solo, ça, Dark, je crois. Hein. C'est pas du tout annoncé comme du multi, hein, de base. Hein.
Out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team. Like him. Her. Or even her.
Ah, ok.
Everyone could become your next secret weapon. In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass, and that means breaking into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes.
C'est bon, ça. Ça, c'est cool, Tony.
Get to work and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone.
Ouais, franchement, ça déchire quand même, sérieux.
When they're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
Ouais, grave, nail gun, le mec.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing? Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
Ah, sois pas impatient, on verra ça à la fin. Hein.
But love this one.
Ou dans 2 jours. Hein.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires, she hits.
I'm reading incoming drones.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done.
Allez, une date de sortie,
Recruiting an Albion officer like
une
Brielle
préco
here
sur
might be
Stadia,
challenging,
et on est heureux.
but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defence Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must.
Criminals running our streets, illegals threatening our families, the police commissioner
Au fait, à la vôtre, hein, Stade Amigos.
assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
That put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. He does have a slight drinking problem, though. And he's passed out.
Et voilà, c'est le perso à Dark, ça.
You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional. It's almost crass to call him a hitman.
Putain, les mouvements des persos, c'est énorme, hein, perso. C'est d'une fluidité, quoi, c'est hallucinant,
Some
quoi.
might even call him an artist. Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Ouais, carrément, quoi, c'est ça, quoi. En plus, on peut faire confiance à Ubi, là, pour qu'il nous fasse un truc suivi sur des années dessus, quoi. Donc, en gros, c'est le jeu qui joue aussi longtemps qu'un Assassin's Creed, ça. Voire plus. Les possibilités sont tellement énormes. Tu finis le jeu, t'as envie de le refaire avec des persos avec lesquels t'as pas joué. 29 octobre, les gars. Voilà.
Plunging the player into a living, breathing city, teeming with unique locales and characters, has always been a central pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict, and we get ample opportunities.
Donc déjà, on saura quasiment qu'on l'aura dans le Uplay Plus à cette date-là.
I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small.
Enfin, faut vraiment l'espérer, quoi.
In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats.
T'es con, toi, putain.
And there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. So, I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they'd go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, you know, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster." When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, it feels so good.
Oh putain, vous êtes grave.
You know, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
Bon, moi, je laisse les spectateurs dire les conneries, hein, c'est bon.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends on
Bah,
iOS
ça, j'ai jamais joué, moi,
Android
pour là.
devices.
Je sais pas si vous connaissez, vous. Je crois que j'ai le petit à ma femme qui y joue.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Oui, bon, ça me marque pas, ça.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go,
Tout à fait.
or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
Oh, Might and Magic. La licence, j'aime, hein, déjà. Hein. Ça peut être un jeu qui peut m'intéresser sur le portable. Moi, j'ai pas beaucoup de jeux sur téléphone, hein. Je sais pas pour vous, mais... C'est vrai que quand je suis pas mal souvent en transport en commun, moi, ça peut m'intéresser, moi. Elite Squad.
Contact! Montaigne is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger. Inbound. Danger close.
I need an EMP deployed now.
EMP imminent.
Ouais, c'est vrai que le Cara Design, c'est cool. Hein.
Get back in your cell!
Ah.
Hey, take this.
Don't make me regret this.
Elite Squad, Tom Clancy's. Mais j'ai bien vu le Splinter, on est d'accord, quoi.
Speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone, Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video to thank all of the amazing players
Bah, ça a de la gueule hein, pour du smartphone.
that have
Hein.
helped Siege become the game it is today.
Celui-là aussi, j'aimerais bien le voir sur Stadia, perso. Fais ta petite team de 4, là, tu délires hein, sur Rainbow Six. Hein. J'ai joué sur Xbox, moi j'ai kiffé. Hein.
Rainbow Six Siege. A game built on a strong vision, creativity,
Ah oui, c'est du 5, t'as raison, excuse-moi. Ouais.
and team play.
Bon, on est assez pour être 5, hein, de toute façon.
Mais pour nous aussi. Il faut tout de suite s'engager et dire aux joueurs, ce jeu est installé, tu peux t'y installer aussi, et nous serons là.
That original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a whole new
Moi j'adorais l'avion. Ouais.
This is such a special moment, and being at 1 year anniversary of Rainbow Six now, game being stronger than ever, more players today than we had in the past, it means the world to us.
But we also had our share of challenges.
Health that touches upon subjects like matchmaking, connectivity, all those aspects are absolutely critical to the experience of the player.
Through it all, we're always driven by you, our community, and together, we grow stronger.
There is no sequel plan and we are here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your
Au
life.
final, t'attends tous les AAA là qui vont sortir. Mais la vraie poule aux odeurs, c'est celui-là. Hein. Et puis ils ont quand même annoncé qu'ils sont pas prêts d'en faire une suite hein, et qu'ils vont vraiment d'année en année continuer à tout mettre dessus.
Autant
Hein.
de nous que de vous. Ce jeu, il est autant le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe de développement.
Now 60 million players strong, we're just getting started. From the devs that build the game to the community that plays it, thank you.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Asen Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer shooter.
Ah, c'est pour toi, Tony,
Now,
ça.
it's time to venture into the hyperscape.
Comment ça, tu viens pas jouer à tes sauts avec moi?
In a hyperscape. That's not supposed to be there. Let me get you all up to speed, okay? About 30 years ago, everything that we
Mais au
feared
final,
about
quand
the
tu vois où ils en
future
sont avec
started to
Rainbow
come
Six
true.
aujourd'hui, ils ont
We
raison.
made some good decisions.
C'est ce coup-ci, on peut pas leur donner tort. Hein.
Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions. So, here we are. 10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities. But the people at Prisma changed everything. They gave everyone a way out.
Bon, observons tous le jeu qui va éloigner Tony de nous pendant des mois et des mois.
Is Crown Rush. This is where anyone can become someone.
Moi qui suis pas trop PVP, franchement j'étais vraiment demandeur de Rainbow Six. Hein. Quand j'y jouais, toujours avec plaisir.
If you get good at Crown Rush, it can change your life.
Ouais, mais même si ça sort sur Stadia, moi j'y jouerais un petit peu quoi pour jouer avec vous, quoi, comme tu as fait avec moi aujourd'hui sur TSO. C'est vrai que là du coup ça peut pas être trop mon genre de jeu, je pense. Bah, après, je suis pas à l'abri d'une bonne surprise en y jouant. Quoi. C'est vrai qu'en te regardant jouer, t'avais l'air de prendre ton pied quand même. Quoi. Du FPS rapide, pour moi, c'est Doom. Quoi. Tu compares ça aux deux, non? Tu le mets à la même hauteur. Quoi.
I'm JC, creative director on Hyperscape.
JC's work on Far Cry Primal and multiple Prince of Persia titles has established him as a top creative here at Ubisoft.
For me, what's exciting is we started building it from scratch.
Ah d'accord, ok. Moi, je me rendais pas compte comme ça. Après, je t'ai pas regardé jouer pendant des heures non plus. Quoi.
The game takes place in 2054. It's in a future where humanity has grown a little darker.
Il n'y a même pas besoin de sous-titres. Hein. Il a notre accent, nous.
Which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges. Within the virtual world, there is a battle royale that takes place in the virtual city of Neo Arcadia. Then we also introduce a lot of new things. You get the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more stressful. You get to go to the landmarks where there's more opportunities to get.
Ça me fait penser à quand j'ai fait ma vidéo pour Stadia, mais j'avais vraiment le même accent. Quoi.
We introduce the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself, you can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield. So a lot of abilities that let you have fun, that are toys that you can play with.
Non mais Guillemot, il est tellement blindé qu'elle arrive à leur dire parlez-moi français, quoi, c'est plus simple.
So all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few minutes, there's going to be a vote, and viewers will be able to decide what effect they want to affect the whole battle. So things like changing the gravity, infinite ammo, or stuff like that. So players, while this happens, really have to adapt to all kinds of stuff that is happening. So for me, it's really exciting because right now, as we speak, we're launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available.
Tu vois, c'est enregistré depuis longtemps tout ça. C'est pour ça qu'ils ont fait un communiqué Ubisoft en disant que tout ça avait été enregistré avant que tout se sache publiquement de ce qui s'était passé et qu'ils aient commencé à faire des remaniements. Alors c'est clair que Que comme Dark, tu peux spéculer. Hein.
Let's show him what I'm made of. Go time.
C'est vraiment le genre de jeu où je suis une quiche, moi. Oh. Oh, on restera copains, quoi. Un peu moins. Oui, sinon on fera la team quiche, on jouera contre Tony, il fera des 20-0 contre nous. Je joue ma vie sans ce genre de jeu.
Anna Maria Musca is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
My name is Anna Maria Musca. I'm the production manager for characters and weapons on Hyperscape. We have paid an exceptional amount of detail to our characters.
Et si j'ai vu passer le truc, là ils disent bien, vous pouvez télécharger l'open beta. Parce que toi c'était une fermée que t'as eu, Tony. Oui d'accord, là c'est ouvert à tout le monde. Là. Ah bah ouais. D'accord, donc le jeu ne sort pas aujourd'hui, c'est encore une bêta.
Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy this type
of tattoos? Tu l'auras pas mardi sur Stadia.
Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new outfits for these characters. So we're hoping some of our players are gonna see the effort and maybe even correlate some of the accessories to what's gonna happen in the game. We're very excited to see it in people's hands.
As we move into the next generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Oh, un bêta, tu l'auras pas.
Guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer from Xbox. With Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game
vraiment une tête de
on any
fonce
version of
sérieux.
Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to
des
take
champipi là, c'est
advantage of
obligé
the
quoi.
amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry forward. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I can't wait for you to see.
Je sais pas ce qu'il a aux yeux, mais c'est ouf quoi. Les deux grosses marques noires en dessous là.
We've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was announced back in April. And now
Voilà.
it's time for a deep dive into the world of Vikings.
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of Vikings is really, really inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really human motivations. So for us to have this
Celui-là, j'en attends énormément aussi.
kind of the real story about Vikings,
Franchement, si je ne termine pas Odyssey, c'est pas bien grave. J'ai d'autres jeux à jouer, quoi, mais...
is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and
Non, mais ça veut dire que t'as Watch Dogs Legion en octobre et en novembre, t'as Valhalla. Oh là 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 là.
And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming
Putain, ils sont dingues de sortir des jeux comme ça avec un mois d'écart.
Full of sheep, full of life. It's just this moment.
Enfin, ils sont dingues. Enfin, c'est nous qui allons être dingues.
Most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see
bah oui, tu rajoutes Cyberpunk en plus.
And this is exactly the feeling.
Puis ceux qui veulent, il y a Avengers en septembre. Oh là là. Puis nous, on va voir Ark Must Die, on va voir Baldur's Gate.
it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain.
Destroy all human.
Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game. They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available. Obviously, in England, it's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there, kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper.
Ouais. Puis là, tu rajoutes les sorties PS5 et Xbox Series X.
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from
Oh putain, ça va me coûter cher cette fin d'année.
Really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system, to leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat. Vikings were not only fighting face to face, they were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings.
Bah, sachant que ça arrive, je vais pas payer plein pot des jeux. Ça c'est sûr. Moi, je sais pas si vous avez regardé la série Vikings, mais moi j'aimerais bien un perso comme Floki, moi.
So please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Je pense qu'il va être plus comme Ragnar, hein. Faut pas chercher quoi.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will relive the epic saga of the Viking invasion of England. You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go a Viking. Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches.
Ouais, c'est obligé, il y a des nouveautés quoi. Après ils ont gardé sûrement 80%, 90% du gameplay quoi. Faut voir ce qu'ils ont implanté quoi.
Your crew will assist you in all your raids, fighting enemies, battering down doors, and stealing cargo too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services.
Je vois sur certains plans, la caméra, elle a l'air quand même d'être... Les plans ont l'air plus larges au niveau des combats, ce qui peut être plutôt bien aussi.
And a guide for future opportunities. The Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game.
Non, je me suis déjà promis de ne pas le faire en cauchemar. Hein.
Every archetype offers a unique challenge. Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks, while others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors.
C'est classe, tu balances les cadavres.
You must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them with a vital.
Ah bah c'est perdu depuis, de toute façon depuis l'origine, c'est perdu.
Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance.
Là, je suis en train de me refaire le 3 sur la Switch, mais ça n'a rien à voir du tout, quoi.
Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly combination of attacks.
Je sais qu'il y en a plein qui ne l'ont pas aimé, j'avais adoré celui à Londres. Celui à Paris aussi était bien, j'ai adoré tous les Assassin's Creed, quoi.
All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including two shields.
Non, ça porte le nom Assassin's Creed, mais Enfin, dans Odyssey, t'as quand même une partie plus ou moins infime qui te raconte des choses. Donc là, ça va être la même chose. Ils sont obligés de toute façon de mettre un tout petit lien, quoi. Mais dans le principe, le gameplay, les tout premiers, ça n'a plus rien à voir, quoi. C'est normal que ça évolue, mais là, c'est complètement parti sur autre chose. Encore que là, la petite scène qu'on a vue, tu vois, ça ressemble à ce qu'on a connu. Et qu'on avait presque pas dans les deux autres. Ouais, t'as encore les animaux légendaires.
Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement. The more you explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ravens, shoot! No mercy!
But as you push deeper into England, the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Du coup, tu vois, ils ont fait Origin, ils ont fait Odyssey, là ils font Valhalla, et tu te dis, bah, ça va être quoi le prochain du coup? Qu'est-ce qui a marqué ensuite? La guerre de 100 ans?
England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise, with unforgettable characters, thrilling triumphs, and tragic losses, giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
Voilà, 17 novembre, quoi. C'est même pas un mois après.
Is truly unlike anything the franchise has seen before. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will
3 semaines
release
après
this
Watch Dogs,
holiday
quoi.
season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
And Stadia.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I am proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games.
Ouais, il parle mieux anglais que celui qu'on a vu tout à l'heure.
In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before ending this show, we have one more thing to share with you.
God and Monster. Ah non, Far Cry 6. J'ai vu l'œil du crocodile, du coup j'ai cru que c'était un monster, mais non. Giancarlo Esposito, et j'adore cet acteur, hein, perso. C'est con toi, putain, c'est grave quoi. Putain, je suis déçu s'il parle pas de God and Monster. Bon, celui-là, du coup, c'est février 2021. C'est bon, t'as le temps de finir les deux premiers, quoi. Ah oui, c'est magnifique. Bah, ils savent mettre leur jeu en valeur, eux, hein. Ça, c'est pas un problème. Hein.
Fuerzas ultrapenetrantes, estamos cansados de los farsantes.
Ah, c'est de lui que tu me parlais, hein.
It's beautiful, Miro. Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa.
Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Breathe, Diego, breathe.
The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes.
Moi, je pense aussi, oui.
Follow me. Now, I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own.
Il va lui faire jeter la grenade sur la populace.
Even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves. They will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong.
Putain, mais il est modélisé, un truc de dingue, quoi.
They will answer you with screams. Call you evil. A monster. And give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has 2 basic parts. Our people. And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom. You understand now? Prove it.
Prove it.
And with that, we're wrapping up our first Ubisoft Forward.
Bon, bah, pas de Golden
Today,
Monster.
we've seen the next generation of Assassin's Creed, the birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs Legion, the cyber chaos of Hyperscape, and the epic reveal of Far Cry's newest installment, along with so much more.
Remember, we'll be back later this year with another Ubisoft Forward filled with tons of game news and updates.
Thanks for joining us.
Ah, pour Beyond Good and Evil 2, à la rigueur, on aurait C'était une espérance, mais le jeu va pas sortir tout de suite. Alors que God and Monster, logiquement,
Hey everyone,
il
welcome
devrait
to the
sortir
Ubisoft
plus
Forward
ou
Post Show.
moins
My name is Yusuf Magid, and this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
aux alentours de
We're
Far
going to
Cry
take a
6, on va
deep
dire.
dive into about 30
Ouais.
minutes of gameplay, and we're
De
joined
ce
by
qu'on
a
pourrait
very
attendre.
special guest here. Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's going on here. Yeah, so here we're midway through the quest that we're showing for UP4. Here we're looking at the assault of Berg Castle. So these are big moments
Ouais,
that
j'ai hâte d'être à
usually
mardi, là. Hein.
sort of culminate at the end of the story. And so here Avar, our Viking raider, is taking a group of raiders and Fyrds into Berg Castle to go and take down Rued and his clan. So who exactly is Rued, and why does Eivor sort of want to pick a fight with him? Basically, Rued comes into play about halfway through this story arc, where at the beginning of the arc, this is something that happens before, Rued basically caused a lot of turmoil within the territory, and Oswald, who's the sort of...
Bon, moi, c'est à peu près ce à quoi je m'attendais, à part God and Monster. De toute façon, c'était plus ou moins annoncé que ça allait être axé sur 4-5 jeux.
And so here, this is revenge, but also accomplishing your ultimate goal. So Fizz, as you're talking, we're seeing some of the combat of Valhalla. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to combat this time around? We wanted to basically
Au final, tout ce qu'on va retenir de ça, c'est que Watch Dogs arrive bientôt et que ça a l'air d'être une tuerie, quoi.
And we really needed to do this to sort of portray that sort of the brutality that comes with being a
Si, enfin, Watch Dogs, ils ont montré quand même. Hein.
The time and the character.
Ça fait longtemps qu'on n'avait pas eu quelque chose sur Watch Dogs, justement. Et là, du coup, on sait que dans 3 mois, on y joue. Dans 3 mois et demi. Après, dans le pré-show, ils ont... Le truc, c'est qu'en fin de compte, faut regarder les 3 heures. T'as le show qui parle des nouveautés. Dans le pré-show, ils ont parlé de ce qui allait arriver dans les jeux déjà sortis aussi. Moi, j'ai pas tout suivi. J'avais regardé une partie sans faire de live. Je suis arrivé sur la fin. Bon, il y a des choses sympas qui arrivent dans leur jeu aussi. Mais c'est vrai qu'au niveau des nouveautés...
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive, we have Rued within our sights. What's the next step here? So the next move for Eivor is to finally.
Je dis pas qu'on savait pas, Tony. Je dis ça fait longtemps qu'on n'avait rien vu sur Watch Dogs.
Now it's time to go one-on-one against Rued in one of our boss battles, actually.
De mémoire, les vidéos qu'on a vues là, on les avait jamais vues.
And it's worth pointing out, actually, that here what we're showing is the player going and facing off against Rued aggressively, but we tend to always have to support a 360-degree approach in these things. So the player could have approached this a little bit more stealthy and gotten...
Ouais, et puis surtout, mais par contre, je vois dans Ghost Recon, savoir que les IA alliés arrivent enfin, voilà. Et cette semaine, je crois, si j'ai bien lu.
Here, one of my preferred strategies is to eliminate the wolf first. Just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now, Rued will have extra abilities that come into play if you do eliminate his wolf. But I think having one opponent less in the battlefield makes for a good strategy in the whole.
Ah bah j'ai pas suivi non plus Ghost, moi, tu vois. En ce moment, moi, à part Tesso...
Why doesn't they should be ruled, wolf-kissed? Made thralls, not treated as equals. We are better than this, and all of them.
Do not drag me down to the sewage.
Après, ça enlèvera pas le fait que c'est quand même mieux en coop.
You throw in with these wastrels, these arrogant swine?
Eivor, no! He should be tried before God, a lawful assembly.
Alright, so we've defeated Rued.
Je résume l'état d'esprit de Tony là, les gars. Bon, c'était une conf de merde, mais bon. Bon, je vais jouer à Hyperscape, les gars. Ciao.
So we have this choice to make, but before we get into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big, grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies. So let's actually rewind and see how we went about first gathering those troops.
Right. So when coming up to an assault, it's a game of numbers. Eivor can go into pretty
Alors,
much
je pense pas que je vais jouer, moi, du coup. Demain, je commence super tôt.
a stealthy Viking, eliminating some of the assets, which ultimately would be a strategy.
J'ai même pas mangé encore, d'ailleurs. J'ai pas donné à manger au chien. Donc, comme ça, on va manger tous les deux. Après, je vais le promener un peu, et puis après, au dodo, devant un épisode.
The men and the women of the territory who come up and fight in the name of a
Puis on
king.
faut encore que je fasse le jardin aussi.
Eivor is going around and trying to convince people to fight in the name of Oswald.
En tout cas, c'était bien sympa de faire ça avec vous. Hein. Moi, je fais rebelote mardi à 19h. De toute façon, je fais même toute la journée en live mardi. Hein. Et vers 18-19h, je ferai peut-être un pré-show aussi, et en faisant un style toutes les bandes annonces de jeux qui vont sortir, des trucs comme ça. Peut-être faire un truc sympa, je vais voir. Si j'ai le temps de le préparer.
So we're told by this Reeve that there are troops, there are allies that he could add to our cause, but first we sort of need to do him a favor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Rued and the impact he's had on the territory.
On pensera à toi, Tony, mardi, on fera des dédicaces.
And so you need to
Dès qu'ils nous montreront un jeu des bizarres, on fera c'est de la merde.
Helping them take back one of their prized locations by taking a couple men and raiding a nearby township, basically taking it back for the people and showing that there's a reason to continue fighting and then get them on your side. When Eivor does this, obviously you have access to a full suite of abilities. So again, the improvements that we've done to the fight system, you have some brutal axe throwing in there. You have archery or like a range combat abilities in there as well. So really, again, like depending on what your playstyle is, you can customize your loadout and go.
Ah bon, là, pour tirer un peu à la flèche, c'est même pas cadré, quoi.
Fizz, we just saw this giant pulse go out. What exactly was that?
So that is what we call the Odin sight. The
Ouais, la rigueur, on se retrouverait, je peux, le temps que je mange, je peux vous rejoindre pour un petit vocal, ouais.
Previous games, and we thought it was good to sort of bring that back. It's basically Eivor's intuition, it's how she perceives the
Je crois que Dark, il a pas fini de débarrasser. Hein.
It'll highlight basically interactive objects, like things that will bring her an advantage. So we'll have arrows, like health consumables that are in there. So it really is like a good way of sort of.
Je vais donner à manger au chien. Je vais faire le jardin et puis je vais en jouer un petit peu. 15-20 minutes, mais pas plus. Hein.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of things we can touch, we just picked up this awesome new weapon.
It's something we
Bon,
wanted to play
allez,
with
je vais stopper la vidéo.
where we have fewer weapons in the game, but
Ah, t'as fait ça en silence, hein. On n'a rien remarqué, nous. Hein. Bon, les gars, merci d'être venus, c'était cool. Et je vous dis à tout de suite si vous vous connectez. Et puis, si vous ne connectez pas, bonne soirée à vous et à très bientôt. Ciao.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
The unlocked skills for the players. So here you can see the Valkyrie dive that has just been unlocked. We have these spread out throughout the world. So again, to promote exploration and discovery, as you travel through the world and you explore